A cosplayer today could be anything, anybody who just wants to portray a character they like, or anybody who takes it seriously enough to make their own props, costumes, and basically compete to see who makes their stuff better.
Cosplay today? Well, for the most part, now, you got people spending a lot of time on their cosplays, which is good. But I noticed there's a very interesting change because now it's more acceptable to have not just one particular group, but now it branches. But then there's also going to be the bigotry that comes with it.
I think that the cosplay today has just been growing, larger and larger. I mean, it used to just be, when it first started coming to the West back in early 90s, a small community, and now it's just grown so much larger. I mean, if you look at the largest anime-based convention, which is like Anime Expo, they have, hundreds of thousands of attendees, and that just shows how large of a community we've become.
Cosplay today is more expansive, more including. There's more comics. People are cosplaying from comics, video games, anime, TV shows, webcomics, everything.
What is today?
Well, what does cosplay mean to us today?
Yes.
It means just being, another character and pretending you're in a whole other world in cosplay.
It's like an art form with the costumes, and then definitely a lot of acting.
Yeah, a lot of art, a lot of acting involved.
50-50.
With the hair. Yeah.
I think it's become kind of like a big art form. Like people take a lot of time into their costumes, and some people get kind of prejudiced. Like if you're not the same color skin as the character, or maybe you're not the same weight. But I think overall cosplay should just be for fun, and it's a laid back thing to do to get your mind off stuff.
I agree, it's definitely become an art form. Because then you have some people who make a living off of it, and some people part of what I think is really interesting about cosplay as of late is that it's definitely more diverse than I think it was even 5 years ago. I mean, it used to be a lot more just Japanese anime and video games, but even at anime conventions, it's now, a lot of Western cartoons are mixed in there, a lot more comic book characters that are not Japanese. It's a lot more diverse, and I think part of the fun in it is trying to spot your favorite character. What has become a cosplay today? Homestuck. That's what become a cosplay today.
Yeah.
Homestuck with 12-year-olds looking slutty.
Yeah.
Oh! That really is what happens to cosplay today. If you're any con, what's the most thing you see there? Homestuck. It's not even anime.
Okay, the difference between what I was trying to get at and what you are is you're actually 1, beautiful, 2, good looking, 3, amazing, and 4, you're talented, and you're not popular.
Well, this was before I even knew what anime was, but my first anime was Dragon Ball Z. Just about anyone's first anime, Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon on Cartoon Network at the time. And it just became my favorite, and Dragon Ball Z was awesome, and it just led into me, liking other shows like that.
My aunt, she introduced me to Sailor Moon.
Well, what got us into anime?
What's the first anime you watched?
It's always been Sailor Moon by far.
I can't remember if it was My Neighbor Totoro or Sailor Moon that I saw first, but it was in the early 90s. Okay. I'm old.
I got into it when I was little. I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid.
Pretty much the same thing. I watched Pokemon and Dragon Ball when I was little, and then as I got older, my friends started talking about anime, and I was like, oh, I've been watching that since I was little, so it's just something I grew up with.
Definitely started with Pokemon, eventually moved on to Sailor Moon, and ever since it just kind of took off.
Within age, yes, because some people, the newer generation can act a little bit more childish, and they're more towards the newer mainstream stuff than the older people are.
Among age, not so much. I don't feel a separation between age. I just feel that at times there's a separation of fandom, especially with things like New York Comic Con eating up New York Anime Fest.
Definitely, if anything, you would see a lot of separation between, the fandoms that you could definitely put in that category would be Natalia, or Homestuck, and that's because a lot of people. I mean, in the past, I've only heard rumors, so this is not my opinion of what I've seen. But I've heard that they've like Homestuck cosplayers have thrown stuff at people that are always rude, and have like that they don't have good body paint, and they get it on other people's cosplays, just like glomping them. And that's some of the instances that kind of gets people in the wrong kind of mentality about Homestuck cosplayers. I mean, my opinion is cosplay what you want. If you want to do it right, cosplay what you want. But if you go to any con, that'll definitely be the thing. You see a lot of separation or a line between people.
With what age groups?
Like if there's like a separation between us and the younger generation.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, I have some friends that do cosplay that are a lot younger, but I think it depends person to person. Because, it's kind of weird for me to hang out with people that are too young. I'm gonna get sued.
Yeah, that's
I'm like scared of that.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get along with people, I don't think it really matters what age they are or what generation they're from.
Yeah.
I think what really matters is, I guess, if you get along with people, or if you got a lot of similar interests, or if you share a lot of, the same passion among cosplay and anime and fantasy and all that, video games.
And I'm not one to like ever hate or bash on any fandom, even if I'm not into it. It's not my cup of tea. Big deal.
Like with we notice a lot of Homestuck cosplayers down there. Like,
I'm not into it, but they're doing their thing. They like it.
Exactly.
It's not
right.
hurting anyone.
I always stick to cosplays.
Definitely. There's a line.
There's the people who take it way too seriously, and then there's the people who are just doing it to have fun.
Certain age groups like certain shows, other age groups like other shows. It's a bit different to like transition between the two age groups, but they're there. That line is there.
Really, there's only a line of separation in fandoms if we make it. If we don't, then we're all pretty much one in this. We're all just a bunch of nerds being nerds. I have seen people, like some people have that line where it's like, I was into it first, we were into it from the offspring, but then there's some other people who don't.
I think in older generations, from maybe the 70s or 80s, there's a line, but I think today, like, different age groups are just coming together and just all in it for the same thing. So I think that line is not as prominent anymore.
I think more now, it's just everyone just wants to enjoy it. It doesn't matter if you're not kind of. I feel like a lot of the time when I go to cons, there's a lot of like younger, like teenagers there, rather than like people like my age. Well, that's what I'm saying. Most of them I go to are kind of just like, for people around the age of 15 to 25. So that's the majority of people that are there, but a lot of people considering like the younger kids are like usually like doing like Italia or something lame. I don't know, that's just something that's really generic. Pokemon. Hey.
If it wasn't for the influx of bad live action, I'd say yes. Unfortunately, my answer is no.
I'd have to say, well, if it's something like a web series by people who go to cons or something like that, by live action, but if we're talking about anything media-wise, like someone making a movie or a TV show, I would have to say 100% no. And here's just one statement that'll just put to bed anything like that. Dragon Ball Z Evolution. Done. No more. We don't want it. Okay? That's it.
Yeah, I would love to see more stuff for cons on TV and everything. Like, get the word out for everybody else, so everyone else can enjoy it too. Yeah, so they can like get in the know instead of wondering like what the hell's wrong with these people.
Yeah, that would probably be cool. I mean, I barely see anything on TV.
Yeah, well, you see most of the stuff on like YouTube.
I think it's portrayed kind of strangely by like the mainstream media. Like,
yeah, they're always going to have weird perceptions about people who are in like who are in the nerdom and the geekdom.
Yeah.
Who are into anime and sci-fi and fantasy. But that's just how it is.
Yeah. I'd like to see a better portrayal in mainstream media of just nerds, geeks, cosplayers, everything. That would be cool.
If it's done properly, like if it's done like Avatar was done,